Have you ever found yourself in a moment of doubt where life's challenges seem insurmountable and you wonder if you're truly alone in your struggles? In those moments, it's natural to seek a source of hope and strength, something unshakable that you can hold on to. The notion of promises, whether from people or a higher power, often plays a significant role in providing us with this sense of security. We long for promises to be kept, to find reassurance that we're not navigating this intricate web of existence entirely on our own. But in this search for dependability, we often encounter broken promises, whether from others or even from ourselves. It's a part of the human experience, the bitter taste of unfulfilled commitments. The idea that God never breaks a promise is a comforting thought for many. It extends beyond any specific religious belief, resonating with the universal desire for assurance and a stable foundation to build our lives upon. While promises made by people are subject to human frailty and limitations, the concept of an unwavering promise from a higher divine source provides solace and hope to countless individuals around the world. In this speech, we'll explore the profound idea that in the face of life's uncertainties, the belief in a promise that doesn't shatter can serve as a guiding light, illuminating the path through the darkest of times. It's important to clarify that when we speak of God and promises that God never breaks, it's not confined to any particular religious interpretation. It's a concept that transcends theological boundaries and taps into our fundamental human need for something or someone to rely on when life becomes challenging. This speech isn't about endorsing or negating any specific faith. Instead, it's an exploration of the broader theme of promises, faith, and trust, which holds significance in various cultural and spiritual contexts. The belief in a promise that remains unbroken offers a sense of security and constancy that we often crave in a world filled with unpredictability. But what does it mean when we say, God never breaks a promise? It signifies the profound trust that many place in the divine, a trust that everything happens for a reason, that life's ups and downs are part of a grand plan, and that even in the darkest moments, there is a flicker of light that can guide us toward a better tomorrow. It raises questions about the nature of these promises. Are they explicit commitments made by a divine entity? Are they the silent, unwritten assurances we find in the beauty of nature, the warmth of the sun, and the stillness of the night? The promise that a new day will dawn, regardless of how dark the night may be, symbolizes hope and renewal. It's a form of promise that many of us hold dear, a promise that is never broken. But what about the promises that seem to crumble, the ones we felt were etched in stone, only to be shattered like fragile glass? How do we reconcile these with the belief in a promise that never falters? This speech doesn't seek to provide a definitive answer, but rather invites you to ponder these questions. In life, we often encounter the unexpected, moments when our trust is shaken and promises are seemingly abandoned. Yet, in those same moments, when despair threatens to engulf us, we may also find the strength to persevere, to adapt, and to believe that the divine promise remains intact, albeit in a form we may not immediately recognize. This belief carries us through times of adversity, reminding us that even in the most challenging circumstances, a greater purpose may be at play. It's a belief that encourages resilience, the ability to pick up the pieces when promises seem broken, and move forward with the understanding that perhaps our comprehension of the promise was incomplete. It encourages us to perceive life's intricate tapestry from a broader perspective, where each thread, whether joyous or painful, is essential to the whole. The idea that God never breaks a promise serves as a source of hope for countless individuals who grapple with the uncertainties of existence. It offers the belief that even in the face of heartbreak, loss, and disappointment, there is a promise, a commitment to guide us toward growth, understanding, and ultimately, a more profound connection with our own purpose in this world. This isn't about discounting the anguish of broken human promises, but acknowledging that the divine promise, whatever form it may take for each person, is a unique, unwavering thread in the tapestry of their lives. In this exploration of the concept that God never breaks a promise, we're not delving into theology or attempting to define the nature of divinity. Instead, we're delving into a universal aspiration for assurance, a belief that in our darkest hours, we can find a promise that never shatters. Whether through the lens of personal faith or a broader sense of spirituality, this speech is a celebration of hope, resilience, and the unwavering trust in a promise that endures. It's essential to recognize that these promises, whether we view them as coming from a divine source or as the echoes of our own hopes, are deeply personal. They take on unique shapes and colors for each individual. They may be drawn from religious texts, personal experiences, or the profound connections we share with nature and the world around us. What remains universal is the human yearning for something, someone, or some belief to anchor us in the storms of life. God never breaks a promise symbolizes the human capacity for faith in a future where pain and sorrow transform into growth and understanding. It's the belief that each challenge we face, no matter how daunting, carries with it the potential for renewal, for a new beginning. It's a belief that invites us to perceive the world through the lens of possibility, where adversity is not an end but a passage towards something greater. In our journey through this speech, we'll explore what this concept means for our lives, our relationships, and our understanding of the world. We'll delve into the resilience that this belief can inspire, how it can encourage us to keep moving forward even when the path is shrouded in uncertainty. We'll consider the role of trust and how it intertwines with these promises that never break. As we navigate the complexities of life, we often discover that the journey itself is riddled with uncertainties. We're frequently met with surprises, some joyful and others deeply challenging. When the ground beneath us seems unsteady, we seek something unchanging to hold on to, something that won't waver when the winds of change blow fiercely. In this quest for the unshakable, we turn to the belief in promises that never break. It's not merely a religious tenet, it's a testament to our shared humanity. It's the glimmer of faith that in our ever-evolving stories, there is a promise, a commitment, a trust that never falters. There's a beauty in realizing that these promises aren't rigid or dogmatic. They adapt to the contours of our lives, evolving as we do. They encompass the joys, the sorrows, and the everyday moments that make up our existence. And in the midst of these promises, we often find solace, strength, and the ability to embrace change with an open heart. The concept that God never breaks a promise is not a denial of life's struggles or an assertion that challenges will cease to exist. Instead, it's an acknowledgement that amid these difficulties, we can hold fast to something unshakable, something that carries us through. It's a testament to our resilience, our capacity to adapt, and our ability to find meaning in even the most perplexing circumstances. While this speech doesn't promise to unveil the ultimate truth of these unwavering promises, it does offer an invitation to explore, to question, and to celebrate the enduring human spirit. Whether through divine faith, spiritual connection, or personal convictions, these promises can serve as a guiding light, illuminating the darkest of paths. They instill in us the power to trust in a better tomorrow and to find solace in the knowledge that even when human promises crumble, these deeper, unbroken promises remain.